Welcome friends to another r/I don't work here lady video. Excuse me kind viewer, can you help me? You work here, right? Could you hit the like and subscribe buttons down below and help support the channel? That said, our first story of the day is by Sugary Space Sprinkles. Some people just don't get it. So I had bad leg pain last month and had to use a walker/cane to get around. Turns out I had tumors, not malignant. Had surgery recently and put on a wound vac before switching to a wet to dry bandage last week as my wound's healing up faster than expected. I can now walk better. I'm using a walker when I go out, now just waiting for my next operation to get it sutured. Events of the story happened yesterday. Now story time. As mentioned, I'm walking well again. Physical therapy helped a lot, but unfortunately I can't walk too well either as my injury's still healing up and I can't fully bend nor lift my leg straight up. For example, when I get into or out of bed, I need to be sitting down, then have to scoot my foot from my injured leg on top of my right foot and lift it up into a bent position, then slowly carry it up and over onto the bed. Or when walking, I have to move my leg out to the side and forward to take a step, so it looks quite awkward. It doesn't help that a few nights ago, I stepped on a chicken bone my dog left in the hallway at night. Thanks Chica, still love you, you little fish butt, you. With my right foot. And got a gash on my heel. So now I'm walking with one leg out to the side and the other on my tiptoes. This is a tiny bit important. So my dad, my awkward steps and I headed off to the store for groceries. I had my walker and cane, but since there's grocery carts, there was no need to use them. We make our way in, and since I have the cart for support, my dad grabs a basket instead, and we decide to split up to cover more ground while we get what we need. So I'm going about my business, grabbing items, checking prices, checking on my phone to see if we have enough money, occasionally putting things back. I like to walk around as it helps with the leg as well as keep me occupied. So I'm putting things back in their respective places and aisles, just taking my sweet time. Note that I'm not wearing anything that resembles the store's uniform, which is black short sleeve button up, black slacks, black shoes / non-slip boots. I'm in a black t-shirt, pink shorts, and wearing socks and sandals. I'm now near the frozen / dairy section, picking up different cheeses and putting them back, then doing the same with some ice cream tubs. Chocolate swirl, chocolate chip, Neapolitan, rainbow, mint chocolate chip. Oh, how my sugar levels must hate me. At some point, this man comes up near me and stops, so I pull my cart to the side thinking he's trying to get through. I wasn't blocking the aisle and there was plenty of space, but I like to be polite. He starts up, "Hey, excuse me, could you help me out with finding specific item? Also, I don't need these anymore, do you mind?" As he takes packs and bags of meat from his cart and places them in mine. Now, I had my own meat already picked out from the deli section, and this guy is quickly placing his own, along with other items like beans, pasta, drinks, what have you, in my cart. And now they're mixed up with mine, and I have no way of knowing which belonged to who. I quickly try and pull my cart away, and put my hand out forward over my cart to stop him. Whoa, no, I don't work here, I'm sorry. He stops, but now his friendly demeanor changes. "I just saw you putting things back, a few more won't hurt." I shake my head. "No, well, yeah, but again, I don't work here. I don't even have the outfit or uniform. I'm just doing my shopping. Please take your things back." His face changes again and looks genuinely sorry and he says, Okay, I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that." And he takes his things back. The end? Oh no, not just yet, unfortunately. I apologize for giving off the wrong impression that I worked there. I had no reason to apologize, but that's just how I am. I once turned a corner and bumped into it and apologized to the wall. No joke. We said our goodbyes. I continue making my way down the aisles, once again taking and placing items, when a woman comes up to me this time. She sees me and quickly puts her basket down and speed walks towards me, snapping her fingers at me with a, Hey you boy." Boy? I thought to myself. Oh nah. Instead of my friendly yes, I unfortunately still give her the time and day and simply answer, "What?" in a rather rude and annoyed tone. She stopped in her tracks and scoffed, What? I'll let you know what. There's nobody at the freaking registers. There's only one girl there and the line is so long and far. Go open another one." Now, I'm not one for confrontation, especially if it can be avoided, but I won't let anyone walk over me as I had let done in the past. I've been going through heck lately and I finally decided to grow a backbone. I say first off, I don't work here. Does it look like I do? Second, Don't talk down to me like that. I'm not your child. She interrupts me. No, listen here, honey. I'll talk however the freak I want. You're no one to tell me anything. Who the freak are you to lecture me? Get me someone that isn't a freaking insult for a mentally challenged person to teach you how to do your job. I shake my head in disappointment. I say, that's freaked up. Don't say that. Good luck to you. And I begin to walk off. Again, I'm walking awkwardly, and she points this out as she stays behind. Well, if it walks and talks like a duck. I shut my eyes, grit my teeth, grip the cart handle, and take a deep breath, but keep moving without looking back. Dad and I meet up again, and he puts his basket in my cart. We make our way to the registers, and 2 more have opened up. He needs to use the restroom, so I wait behind before getting in line. He had the money and the lines were short. I didn't want to keep other people waiting at the checkout while he was gone. Who should walk by but the witch from earlier? She eventually notices me as well, and we glare at each other, and she gets out of line and up towards an actual worker standing off to the side. She tugs his arm, points to me, and both make their way toward me. Him. I say, me what? She tugs on the worker's arm and keeps pointing. He's the one who harassed me and insulted me. He wouldn't let me get a word in when I needed help and brushed me off. Very rude. Worker is either slow, wasn't paying attention or didn't care, or was trying too hard to stay on the customer's good side. He barely raised his eyes at me and said with a shoulder shrug, Dude, what? Come on, man, you're better than this. What, they didn't teach you that this isn't how you deal with customers? Basic Training 101. The woman pipes up, You need to respect your elders, don't you know? I snap back, tired of nobody getting the hint. I don't care who you are, respect is freaking earned. You're the last person to be talking about respect. I don't work here. Do you understand? You know what? Screw this. I leave the cart where it is just as my dad's making his way back and limp towards him. He asks, What happened? Where's the cart? Why aren't you in line? I say in Spanish, They can go screw themselves. They have no respect here. That freaking lady won't stop bothering me, and that guy doesn't give a darn about what she's saying. I tried explaining I don't work here, and they're both being idiots. My dad glares over at them, puts his arm around my shoulder, and we slowly walk out the store. He says in Spanish, Well, then they can go screw themselves. He said, Freak you. Self-explanatory. Mind you, I don't curse at all in Spanish. I wasn't raised that way since my parents didn't even speak that way around me growing up. I'm even afraid to say the Spanish word for freaking, as in no freaking way. So me cursing up a little storm like that meant I was quite pissed off. We ended up doing our shopping at another store further away, peacefully. To the first guy in the freezer section, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Sorry again for the confusion. To the lady, I hope you get a hangnail and an ingrown toenail on your pinky toe. To the ignorant cashier, I hope you're the last to close up. Everyone's gone home, and 3 of your tires are popped so you have no ride home. If you were faced in a situation like this where somebody's claiming that you're an employee somewhere, being a little rude or upfront about things, would you be the kind of person to give them a piece of your mind? Or do you prefer to play peacekeeper and try to be as civil as possible? Let me know how you would be in the comments down below. Me personally, I like to diffuse arguments. I don't really like to argue. I'd probably just try to find the quickest way to an understanding and an exit. Our next story is by Mike's_ox on fire. You'll have my job. Okay, this should be interesting. So, I'm out shopping for a few things, bread, milk, bin bags, etc. I remember that I need some ham, so I go to the cooked meats aisle and look for something tempting. As I'm searching for something nice, I hear a voice behind me saying, "Excuse me," in a not at all polite manner. I look over my shoulder and see the local Karen. I acknowledge her and take 2 steps to the side, but don't turn around. I feel a tap on my shoulder and the same not too polite voice saying, "Excuse me, I'm talking to you, don't ignore me." I turn around and open my mouth to ask what she wants and why she's being rude, but before I can speak, she starts berating me for being a lazy member of staff and ignoring her. I say, "If you think I work here, you're wrong. I don't." She says, "You're just being freaking lazy. I'll have your job." "Really?" I say, badly feigning surprise. "You'll have my job?" "Yes, I will," she says, with a strange mixture of superiority, righteousness, and stupidity. "Okay, suit yourself. You can have it." I waved my hands around in strange shapes and announced, "You are now officially a member of staff." It is said that a picture can speak 1,000 words, but the look on her face at this point just said, "What the freak?" "But I want you to get things for me. I want," she starts. I say, "Don't ask me, I'm a customer. You should ask a colleague since you work here. In fact, you can help me with what I need." "What? But I don't work here," she gibbers. "Yes, you do. You said you'd have my job and I gave it to you. Now freak off and leave me alone." She stomps off, but that wasn't the end of it. Another customer who's clearly seen the interaction stopped her halfway up the aisle and said, loudly enough for me to hear, "Oh, finally someone who works here. Can you get that heavy thing off the top shelf?" "Oh, freak off," she exploded and walked, presumably, out the shop. Other customer, "You absolute legend." That's almost like sitcom levels of perfect timing, where you have some funny blow-up confusion bit and then the person storms off like, "Oh, forget this." Turns around and immediately walks into the next punchline. That's some good stuff right there. And our final story of the day is by Cookie Respect 5925. Sure, I'll help you. My I don't work here story is the opposite of what would normally be posted, but it's kind of funny, and sometimes you just have to switch things up. I was in the paints aisle at a major hobby craft store buying acrylic paints for my color theory course. I needed exact matches and was using the color guide the professor gave us. I needed about a dozen paints. Due to this, I ended up kneeling down on the floor, laying out a variety of paints next to the printout before making my final cut and putting them in a handbasket next to me. I had something like 30 paints of differing brands laid out in rows. This took some time. Note, I was in plain clothes and the employees wear an apron as their uniform over plain clothes. I can understand the mix-up. Some time goes by and a teenager comes up to me asking where the watercolor pencils were. I'm familiar with the store and tell her it's just on the other side of the shelf I'm facing, towards the bottom. I almost wanted to say I don't work here, but she had a list and I'm guessing she was a high school student. Besides, I knew where the pencils were and it didn't hurt me to tell her. A few minutes pass and now she's returned with 3 sketchbooks and presents them to me. I'm still on the floor and asks me which one's the best for watercolors. I tell her none of them will work because they're for sketching, so I get up and walk around the end of the aisle, grab a pad of watercolor paper similar in size, and bring it back. She thanks me and hands me the 3 rejected sketchbooks, which I set on the floor next to me. I figured I would just put them away when I'm done putting the paints back. No big deal. Finally, I'm at the registers in line waiting to pay. The young lady I had helped ends up being in line next to me, just a person ahead. She's putting her things on the counter when she glances around and recognizes me and smiles. She says thanks for the help, and I nod and smile back, telling her it was no problem. I also at this point thought, okay, maybe she knew I didn't work here and just saw a friendly face to ask for a little help. When it's my turn at the counter, the girl's passing me with her bag of supplies, and she stops and goes wide-eyed. She says, "Oh my god, you don't work here? Why did you help me?" I'm laughing at this point, telling her she's fine and I didn't mind. So she runs up and hugs me, saying she's so embarrassed before running out of the store. This was pre-COVID times, so yeah. I accepted a hug from a sweet stranger who thought I worked there. It was a cute experience. I used to work a lot of retail when I was about her age and through college. And I guess it's my vibe or something. People are so ugly all the time out there in the world. It was just nice being nice to nice people. That doesn't happen often, unfortunately. Although OP says it might be their vibe, I think, you come into an aisle and you see somebody laid out kind of paint matching. I would say you could probably guess that maybe they thought they were doing some stocking things or picking out paint for a customer or something like that. It definitely just says a lot of good things about OP as a person, that they were willing to stop, help somebody that was just looking for a little assistance. And not only that, but in the midst of all this paint matching, they were willing to be like, okay, I'll go put their sketchbooks back too. OP overall to me just sounds like a good person. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So, of all these stories that I've read for you today, which was your personal favorite and why? Let me know which one it was in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.